Alright folks, we are back and we have the opportunity to play first. That's pretty cool. We're here against Silverpelt. We'll give him the hang good luck, Mr. Silverpelt. The pelt of a silverback gorilla or some such. And let's see what kind of hand our deck is going to decide to give us. Here we go. That is a terrible hand. We've got a lot of mana and absolutely nothing to do with all. That makes me really sad that we're going to have to throw this back. It's almost like I don't want to throw it back. I actually almost want to keep it and see where it's going to go, but we have actually no action in our hand. We have a Grove of the Guardian that we can't hope to cast without two creatures. Yeah, we're going to have to... Oh, wow. We are starting off this draft with a bang. Okay, so now we have all creatures except for one enchantment and absolutely no mulligan. Or absolutely no lands. That's lovely. Well, thank you, Magic. Yes. Okay, this is better. It's not great because we have a Drudge Beetle and no green mana, but we do have some creatures. We do have an Ethereal Armor. We have the white to play it. We have our blue mana, so that's good. So I think we'll stick around here. So we'll play down the plains, just because you never know. Not looking too good, though. I don't really like to mulligan to 5 right off the bat. Okay, so we were really fortunate there. We managed to pull up a forest. That's fantastic. So we can play this Drudge Beetle. I don't really want an Ethereal Armor a Drudge Beetle. I'm considering it, though. Maybe Drudge Beetle, Ethereal Armor take us to victory. I'm not really sure, though. So Gatecreeper Vine, yeah, that's pretty good for him. Looks like maybe Golgari, what, Selesnya, Rakdos? Okay, Golgari. Golgari. That's fine. Okay, well, we're getting our mana out. That's fine. We'll be able to play things like Towering Indrik when the time comes. I think we can swing in here without too many problems. I don't really think he'll throw away his Gatecreeper Vine quite yet. It's just 2 damage, right? Not a big deal. So, I think we'll just stick with where we're at right now. I'd much rather get an Ethereal Armor on something like a Towering Indrik. That would be pretty good. That would make it a 3-5, which are very relevant numbers, as I often talk about, with the Azorius Elecutors, whatever they are. Interesting. So, okay, so he is Golgari. Ooh, looks like we're against the Tribal Defender deck. It's not so good. I'm not sure if I can fake him out yet. Ooh, Rubbleback Rhino is really good. If we rip another land, that's going to be really fortunate. Okay, so we'll see if we can fake him out. He can't tap this yet, which is good. He might even just let it by, and he does. So now we can play the Towering Indrik. He is sitting on 5 mana right now, and we do know he has that Golgari Guildgate in his hand. The problem right now is the card advantage that he has over us. He has significant card advantage over us because we had to mulligan downward to 5, and then he was also on the draw. Yeah, see, now he's really ramping up with things like Selesnya Keyrune, and he hits his land drop. And another Gatecreeper Vine. Whew, man. I don't even want to know what's coming with all this mana. This is terrible. Okay, so now it would be really fortunate to see, and now I really have to consider the fact that all this mana that he has. See, now he can tap this for 3. He is just all action right now. And a Trestle Troll is very good for him. Okay, and we see Collective Blessing, but we can't quite hope to play it yet. That's pretty unfortunate. So I have to consider if I do throw down this Ethereal Armor to get a better use of my mana, I think right now we really do need to start rushing in, but I don't know if I want to put this ethereal armor on a towering injury quite yet. I think we're going to hold back with it for just about right now. We will go ahead and attack with both. We may see a trestle troll here, which is fine. Okay, and that's fair. Okay, so we do have the 2 green for Collective Blessing. But we are still 2 mana away. Any 1 mana and we can get this Roboback Rhino out, and that could be really good. Now, he also has 8. He's got a lot of mana. He's got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana available. He can swing in here with the Selesnya Keyrune, which is pretty good for him, and still have basically enough mana to play anything in his hand. And this is the part where we might start to get overrun here, just because of the amount of cards that he'll be able to play. See, that's pretty bad. Yeah, and we're not seeing the lands right now. And the longer we go on, the longer he can potentially start to develop his board. It's pretty unfortunate, but it's really kind of where we're stuck at right now. I'm still not so sure I want to throw down this ethereal armor on this towering Indrik. The biggest thing right now he can come in with is 1/1s, but that can change very, very quickly. But he has essentially completely stunted our attacks. So yeah, Tribal Defender, tons of mana. And we have 2 creatures on board. So he's going to tap right now for 4 mana with just that Axebane Guardian. You see like a World Spine Worm or something like that. Palisades Giant, that's pretty strong. And Selesnya Keyrune is also very good. So the question becomes, do you take 3 here and see if he has a giant growth in his hand by throwing a towering Indrik in front of that creature? Things could really start getting out of hand here pretty quick. But I think we're going to have to just take it for right now. That'll put us down to 14. That's an equidistant amount of health right now between us both. But our board position is not looking great. Pegasus is okay, I guess. It'll create some decent blocks, but now we're kind of stuck in that we can't play this ethereal armor. So we're really looking for some land here to stabilize, and it's just unfortunate that we haven't seen it. We've had, plenty of draw steps. We did mulligan, but we've had plenty of draw steps to hit that land, and just sometimes you don't get it. That's Magic, though. And that's kind of why I play this game. The game of Magic is cool to me because no game is ever really the same, and you never really know, you never really know exactly how the game's going to go. So if he swings in here with the Selesnya Keyrune, I think I might actually throw a Towering Indrik and a Concordia Pegasus in front of it. Well, no, all the damage will go to the Palisades Giant. So, I mean, let's see if he has it. If he has the giant growth, he has the giant growth. We gotta stop some of this damage. Okay, and he doesn't. He was just fishing for free damage. So that's good. Land, come on. Okay, we are getting there. We are getting there with a Roboback Rhino. So one more land and we'll have Collective Blessing online, and I think that we can stabilize at that point. We've taken his beats. They hurt, but oh, there's another Axebane Guardian, but he only has one card in hand, so that's pretty good. And now even he's stunted on blocks, so that's not bad at all. Avenging Arrow's okay. I think right now we do go ahead and put this Ethereal Armor on this Rubbleback Rhino. That's going to be pretty good, and that'll make us a pretty sufficient little beater. We actually do have enough now to take care of this Palisades Giant, which is fine. But for right now, I think we're just going to be content to hang back and wait for that final mana. Unfortunately, only having one white means we don't get to play Avenging Arrow if he does attack at us with something. And that would be pretty cool because we would be able to get rid of this Palisade Giant. Yeah, see, Stab Wound is pretty bad. Now, that does mean that we do have a perfect blocker with this Towering Inject, but it also means that we're going to be taking 2 damage. So I really would like to see a land here. A land here would be very, very good. And we get our land. Okay. So this is the point where we need to start looking at what we have and what we can do. I think right now we just throw down Collective Blessing, you know, say, haha, we have Collective Blessing, and let's see here. If we swing with the Towering Indrik, he could block with something like a Trestle Troll. That's not fantastic. This Concordia Pegasus does get very good. This Rubbleback Rhino is also very good, but the problem remains in that he can block with something like... Well, how much power does he have on the board? Let's look at that first, because we have to do enough damage to hit this Palisade Giant right off the board. So he has a potential 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he has a potential 8 damage that he can do to something if he throws everything in front. So let's throw down the Collective Blessing. And we will keep this Towering Indrik back for right now. He'll keep us from getting blown out by something crazy. Yep, activate that key rune. And now's the time where he's going to have to think about his blocks very carefully. Killing this Drudge Beetle is kind of what I want him to do so that I can scavenge it onto this Concordia Pegasus. And he can't just sit there and take all the damage because that would be lethal. So let's see. And I mean, I don't feel bad that he's taking this long on his blocks. It would take me a long time too. Okay, Selesnya Key Rune, and a bird, and a Seller of Songbirds. Alright. That's fine. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, looks like he does have some... Okay, he's going to go throw down the regenerate, which is fine. Okay. Alright, that's kind of what I figured would happen. Did manage to get rid of the Cell Song. Where's the Selesnya Kieran? I mean, it's not like he didn't have plenty of mana anyway. This Trestle Troll is basically going to be the most difficult part, but getting that Palisade Giant off the board was very, very important because we need to start pushing damage through, and he is tapping a crud ton of mana. Okay, see, that's an Axebane Stag, but we're going to have things like Tristani's Judgment, and I might just Tristani's Judgment this Trestle Troll, because that will allow us to begin throwing down the Concordia Pegasus in the air every turn, and that might be what we want to be doing. And now we have things like this other planes as well. So let's see. If we get rid of this if we get rid of this Trestle Troll, he still blocks with a bird. If we get rid of this Axebane Stag, he essentially has no good beaters, and we can swing with everything. Let's see. I think what we do here is go in and see how he blocks. Okay, so I Tristani's Judgment, Trestle Troll. Let's go all in and see how he blocks. Okay. I assume bird in front of the Concordia Pegasus. And then let the Towering Indrik either eat a Vine or a Guardian or something. Okay. All right. That was fine. I think that we can sit back with that and see if he'll go in here with... I mean, I'm sure he's going to go in here with the Axebane Stag. We'll be able to trust Stani's Judgment that to death. Keening Apparition's pretty good. That gets rid of the Ethereal Armor, which is... rather, the Collective Blessing, which is really unfortunate. Yep, so we are going to have to get rid of this. It's pretty sad that we didn't get any value out of it. I mean, it did work as a very good kill card. Now we draw the Centaur's Herald. Okay, so let's see. If we go in here, well, let's take a look at this. If we Drudge Beetle, he has 3 power on the board. Can sacrifice the Keening Apparition. To get rid of the Collective Blessing, which is obviously what he's going to do. I can Avenging Arrow something like, well, let's see. I might even have to consider killing something like my own Towering Intrigue. Okay, so sack the Keening Apparition, that's fine. Yeah, that stab wound is really working us over. Alright, we can put down the Centaur's Herald, which is fine. And let's see, what else do we want to do? Next turn, we can Drudge Beetle onto something. Drudge Beetle onto a Centaur, perhaps? That might be the best bet. I think we just need to crack this open as soon as possible. So he's a pretty defendery deck. He's really managed to wait us out for, holy cow, a pack rat. Holy cow. Yikes. Celestia Sentry is not bad. Just not sure we can put enough damage on this guy to actually win this game. We've got 3 turns to win. We have to win in 3 turns. Let's see. That's not good enough. Okay, I think we're going to have to put the Drudge Beetle on this Concordia Pegasus. The problem is he has things like Pack Rat that can just continue to block and just whittle us down the stab wound. Ah. All right. And he's pretty much got us. he can discard a card to the pack rat, come in for 6. I can block 2. I can block 3 of it. That'll put us down to 3, but I'll have rid of stab wound. He's actually better off just riding the stab wound train to victory here. I'll be really surprised if he swings in. Oh, he does. That's pretty surprising. Because I am really, really okay with letting this Towering Indrik die, because that was essentially what was killing us. Alright. So, Pack Rat will eventually bludgeon us to death unless we figure out a way to deal with it. Actually, it kind of looks like it's going to bludgeon us to death no matter what we do. This guy still isn't good enough to get past that Trestle Troll. It's very unfortunate. And those Pack Rats are going to start getting out of control. I'm not super sure that we have a way to win this game right now. Part of the big problem, too, I don't know if you can continuously regenerate a creature. I imagine you can. It's, like I said, it's been a while since I've been on the Magic scene, so it's kind of like I'm not totally sure about that. But yeah, his deck isn't bad. Pack Rat is certainly very, very good card. I think that we could have won this if we drew a little bit better and if we were a little bit faster. So I don't think it's because our deck is bad. I think more or less it's just because we didn't see the appropriate cards. Yeah, we'll go ahead and call that a game. Just because we're going to need to continue to have our appropriate level of mana here. Okay. So, Sunspire Griffin, Concordia Pegasus, I mean, these are fine. He doesn't have anything in the air, so things like Arrow Predation, well, I mean, he has birds, but those little bird tokens are fine. I don't think we really have to worry about these Arrow Predations. Not super tokeny, Azarius Charm. Concordia Pegasus, very good. I think we can run back in the way we are. I think we're in the right area. I think this deck is fine. I just think we need to draw a little bit better. We need to get a little bit better starting hand. So let's see if we can grab that real quick. We'll go ahead and play first here. And this is not a keepable starting hand. This is better, but just barely. His deck isn't super fast, but the problem is the more time goes along, the more problems we're going to begin to have. The reason I put the second planes out there is in case we see a Sunspire Griffin. And he gets a turn 2 Pack Rat. That's pretty bad. So, we do have the Avenging Arrow, which is pretty fortunate. But he's going to be able to probably populate that Pack Rat. And it's like, if we couldn't deal with the Pack Rat, there's just really nothing we can do now. Yeah, Pack Rat's just going to get out of control. And he's got the black mana to do what he wants to do. Yep. don't have the green for the Drudge Beetle. Can't play Sphere of Safety. Avenging Arrow is a card. Yep, we'll be taking 6. I think right now we just have to kind of stem the bleeding a little bit here. We'll go ahead and just Avenging Arrow one of his pack rats real quick. Okay, so a Hussar Patrol. That blocks a little bit. But I don't think we're going to have what it takes to beat the turn 2 pack rat. We will, however, force him to discard a card. I mean, that's kind of what you want to do anyway, so that's fine. And he gets the Keening Apparition out. So we have Collective Blessing. We cannot play anything in our hand right now. Yes. This was a pretty unfortunate game. You know, I tried to go for a more modest deck that had some consistency, but we just didn't see it. So we'll go ahead and block out, and we'll take our death like a man. Oh well, though, sometimes it happens. That's Magic for you. Good game to my opponent, and I will see you guys for round 2.